YouTube? This is QB from QB's Tails and Scales. And if you watched my last video, it was practically me showing off my red bearded dragons. Well, today's video is going to be me showing off some ball pythons. Well, with ball pythons, there's a lot of morphs and a lot of genetics at play when it comes to breeding ball pythons. There's one gene in particular that really enhances the ball python look, and it's very affordable for breeding or for pets. So the gene that I'm talking about is Pastel. So Pastel is one of those genes where you can find a pastel ball python for 50 to 100 bucks, depending on who's selling it and how good it looks. But it really is one of those genes that really changes the way the ball python looks overall. So today's video, we're going to be showing a normal ball python, what it looks like when you add Pastel to this ball python, what it looks like when you have super pastels, what it looks like when you have a pastel pied, and what Pastel looks like with other genetics when you start adding in things like pinstripe, Mojave, and stuff like that. So I don't have a lot in my collection, so I will show you what I can. And if I don't have a video of the particular ball python I'm trying to mention, I will show you what it looks like. We'll go on Morph Market and we'll look up a particular morph. Because again, my collection is not very big. I only have about 50 snakes, and I mainly have pied stuff, not gonna lie. So what I show you today is going to be some of my stuff and some of what I can find on Morph Market. Let's get started. All right, so the first snake I want to show off is a normal ball python. So this is a normal. He is het pied. He is also 66% het clown. So sometimes the hets will influence the look of a normal a little bit. But overall, this is what a normal looks like. Pretty active little guy here. Here we have a Pastel. Just a Pastel, there's nothing else there. Also 100% het pied, 66% het clown. This is a Pastel next to a normal. You can see that the Pastel really makes the yellows pop. Just look at how yellow this snake looks. So the way you can tell with a Pastel is they'll usually have a lighter head than a normal. Here's a normal's head. Here's a Pastel's head. Again, this is the difference between a Pastel and a normal. So next I want to show you the difference between two different Pastels. So this is a Pastel and this is a Pastel. So there's a difference between two different Pastels. This guy's a little bit darker. This guy's a little bit brighter. So here we have the difference between a Pastel and a super Pastel. Super Pastel really changes the dramatic brightening of the Pastel. The browns are now light browns. The yellows are now creamy. And the head stamp is practically white on this guy. So Pastel, right? This is what a Pastel pied looks like. So it still has those rich yellow tones, still has those rich brown tones, and then you add the pied gene, which makes it have the white pattern. Now obviously with pieds, there's high white pieds, low white pieds, no white pieds. So Pastel pied, and then you add asphalt or yellow belly, practically the same thing. Something in the yellow belly complex will make it look a little bit better. This girl has a little bit of stuck shed right here. Oh, she didn't like me touching that. So the look is practically identical. The yellow belly complex adds some flaring around the saddles. So there is some flaring around the saddles there. This girl is a Pastel yellow belly or asphalt pied. This girl is just a Pastel pied. Here's a Pastel yellow belly without the pied. Still looks pretty good. This is by TBM Reptiles. Here's another Pastel yellow belly without the pied. Again, looks pretty good. This is by A+ Serpents. I showed you a Super Pastel baby. This is an adult Super Pastel with pinstripe as well. Call her Honey. She is awesome looking. She also has a little bit of stuck shed. Right now, the temperatures are getting cooler and everything is getting drier. So I have to spray and mist more often, but that's part of it. So yeah, so with Super Pastel, you still have that light brown yellow color, and then you add pinstripe, and the pinstripe really changes the look of a Super Pastel. All of that pattern, all of those stripings, they turn into little pinstripes, hence the name. So a pastel pinstripe, look at BHB reptiles. So this is a pastel pinstripe. Here's another pastel pinstripe. This one's by Dynasty Reptiles. Here's another pastel pinstripe. This is by Pet Supply United. So this is a Super Pastel pinstripe female. And this is what a Super Pastel pinstripe looks like when you add Hypo or Ghost and OD or Orange Dream. Just look at those yellows on this boy. So essentially they're the same snake, except he has Orange Dream and Ghost or Hypo, and she does not. And she's trying to leave. That is a difference between a Super Pastel pinstripe to a Super Pastel pinstripe Orange Dream, Visual, Hypo, or Ghost. If you remember what the other girl looked like, she was a Super Pastel pinstripe. This girl is a Pastel Mojave pinstripe. So this last guy I want to show off, he is also a pastel, but he is also lavender albino. So this is a pastel lavender albino male. He is het pied. Not that that would have really any influence on this guy here. I love the way the pastel makes the purples and the yellows contrast each other. And then because he is pastel, he still has that head patch. The head patch is, or head stamp, is that bright yellow color. And with that said, hopefully you're not deterred from buying a pastel ball python, even if it's your first ball python, even if it's your last ball python. Pastel ball pythons just look so good by themselves. You saw everything I just showed you. There's so many ways that you can configure a pastel ball python. And yes, I did say configure it because that's the way breeding works, right? You put different things together to see what you can get, and you hope that the odds are in your favor. But yes, pastel is a great standalone gene, and if you have a need or a want for a pastel ball python, head over to my website at www.qbstelssandscales.com. I have some pastels there right now, as well as that Super Pastel baby that I showed you in this video. And the video is over now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video, tell everybody that I'm doing YouTube videos now. Comment, let me know what you would want to see. Message me on Facebook or Instagram. Let me know what you would want to see on a YouTube video. There's going to be more YouTube videos coming. I'm going to try to do 1 or 2 videos a week. I'm also going to try to do a video of how I put together my PVC enclosures. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.